What are the things you need to look back on? Number one, your lineage. Look back at your family lineage. Now, everyone on the continent, well, let me not say everyone, majority of people on the continent are about 2 to 3 generations away from poverty and from the bush. What do I mean by that? If you are sitting down here right now and you are rich, your father is mostly or most likely poor. If you are sitting down here right now, you are rich and your parents are rich, your grandparents were most likely poor. Only few people on the continent have transgenerational wealth. Only few people have great-grandfather that are rich. So it means that for many of us, we are first generation of people that are wealthy. We are first generation of people that are beginning to know about God. So you need to look into your lineage and look into your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your father's side, your mother's side, and find out what are the things about these people that have become a pattern. That is what people are calling generational curse, generational this, generational that. Why? Because most of what we are calling a generational curse is a generational choice. It's generational indecision. So when you look back at your lineage, you are able to study trend. You are able to study patterns, and you are able to now make up your mind not to repeat the patterns or the negative things that have been happening in your family. So number one, you need to look back into your lineage and identify patterns, because what your ancestors have done that has messed up your life, you cannot afford to do the same. So where your ancestors has failed you, you cannot fail your descendants. Now, the second thing you need to look into is to look into your family bank. Look into your family bank. When you become rich and wealthy, people will begin to investigate you. They want to find out, how did you become rich? How did you become wealthy? But nobody investigates the source of your poverty, because that's your response. So you now look into your family bank. What are the contents of your family bank? Number one, the number of children in your family. That's the biology of your family. Number two, the source of income of your family. That's the wealth of your family. Number three, the educational level in your family. That is the knowledge of your family. And then number four, the assets of your family. That is the wealth of your family. And then number five, the marriage of your family. So let's look at all this. These are looking back to become rich on this money matter. So you have checked your ancestry, you have identified patterns, and then you make up your mind not to repeat those mistakes or follow those patterns. So number one, children. Sit down and ask yourself, how many children did your grandfather have? How many children did your great-grandfather have? How many children did your father have? How many children do you have or do you plan to have? Because the number of children you have go a long way in also affecting how free you are when it comes to the area of finances. What do I mean by that? Many people in the olden days had multiple wives and multiple children. Some of us, our grandfather, maybe they have 4 wives, 8 wives, 32 children, 26 children, 18 children. Some of us, our father did the same. They had 6 of us. For you to have 6 or 8 children now, you might be attracting poverty to come and reside in your guest room in your house. So what does that mean? You sit down, you look at the biology of your family. If you now realize that, too many children, you now tell yourself, for me and my household, we just have 1 or 2. 1 or 2 is enough. All this, I'm looking for boy, Abby boy. I'm looking for girl, Abby girl. Don't put yourself in trouble. If you have 2 boys, you already have 2 girls that will come and marry them, being raised somewhere else. Add them to your prayer and your plan. If you have 2 girls, you already have 2 boys that will come and marry them, being raised in another family. Add them to your prayer and your planning. Don't give birth to children you cannot take care of. Because you need to understand that the more children you have, the more chances of you giving them a lower quality of life. All this one you are giving birth to children like sardine, as if you are trying to win an award. Every year your wife is pregnant. Have a rethink. Poverty may be knocking on your door. Why? Because you need to understand that your children are not your retirement plan. And if you have the number of children you can manage, you can give them the best quality of life. The second thing you need to look into in your family bank is, was your father a salary earner or a businessman? Was your grandfather a salary earner or a businessman? Was your great-grandfather a salary earner or a businessman? Because many people are poor because it is a generation of civil servants. Your grandfather works in Nigerian Railway. Your father works in Nigerian Airways. Now you are in NIPOST. And he says it's a generational cost. No, it's a generational choice. You are a generation of civil servants. So you need to identify that, because if everybody in your family are salary earners, Nobody is an entrepreneur. Nobody has started business. No wonder it's difficult for you to step out of the bondage of salary. Very, very important for you to know that. So you look into what? You look into the salary, the income stream of your family. Number 3, look into the education of your family. Did your grandfather go to school? What was his educational qualification? Did your father go to school? What was his educational qualification? Are you going to school now? What courses did they read? So when you look into your family, you discover that sometimes it's a family of uneducated people. It's a family of illiterate. Sometimes it's a family of educated people that are poor. All they have is certificate and big English. So you are able to look at that. Why are you doing that? You are looking back. Because if you understand history, you can understand destiny. Yesterday is in the tomb, tomorrow is in the womb. But if you don't understand the past, you will not be able to unveil the future. So you sit down and you ask yourself questions. If you need to sit down with your father, sit down with your mother, ask questions so that you get clarity. Next is you need to look into the assets of your family. Was your great-grandfather a tenant or a landlord? Was your grandfather a tenant or a landlord? Did your father build the house? Was he a tenant or a landlord? Are you a tenant or a landlord? So if you look into your family and you discover that almost everybody before you, they were all tenants, then you need to tell yourself, this is not going to be my portion. And then you begin to change the narrative. Another thing you need to look at in your family bank, which is number 5, is the marriage of your family. The marriage of your family. Because whether you like it or not, when you study rich and wealthy people and you do a research, you realize that marriage and money and marriage go side by side. There are a lot of people that are rich because of their marriage, and there are a lot of people that are poor because of their marriage. There are a lot of people that have fulfilled their purpose in life and maximized their possibilities because of their marriage, and there are people that could not because of their marriage. So you need to ask yourself that very, very important question. How is the marriage of my grandfather? How was the marriage of my father? How was the marriage of my great-grandfather? How was my parents' marriage? So that you can make up your mind not to follow that evil pattern. Finally, on that family bank is what is the spiritual lineage of your family. What is the spiritual lineage of your family? You need to check out the spirituality of your family. You come from a family where everybody is serving the devil, and you wonder why the favor of God is not working in your family, that will be an error. So what is the spirituality of your family? Your great-grandfather, did they serve God? Your grandfather, did they serve God? Your father, did they serve God? All these are very, very important when we are talking about wealth. You need to look back. You need to look back. Another thing you need to do is to look back at the errors of your own life. You have looked at your family bank, now look into your own personal bank. Your personal bank. What are you doing in your own personal bank now? You want to find out what are the errors of your life. What are the mistakes that you have made? What are the habits that you have formed that is hindering you? What are the opportunities you have lost? The word poor is an acronym for passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities. So what are the opportunities that you have lost? You need to sit down and note all these things. They are very, very important, extremely important for you as an individual to become all that God wants you to be. So you check. If you have made mistakes, identify them, learn from it, and change. If you have developed habits that are not helping you, change. If you have lost opportunity, reposition yourself to embrace new opportunity. I pray for someone under the sound of my voice, where your ancestors has failed you, you will not fail your descendants in the name of Jesus. I declare, where your ancestors has failed you, you will not fail your descendants in the name of Jesus. So look into what? Look back. So that's the first thing. Number 2, the second thing that you need to do is to look inwards. Look inwards. Look inwards. Now listen. Last week, we completed the series on the module called How to Create Wealth. 8 Steps to Wealth Creation. And we looked at 2 Kings chapter 4. Now, and we spoke about the woman and the pot of oil. Did you notice, like we saw, that everything that was done to change their story was based on a pot of oil that was already on the inside of the house? What do you have in the house? So look inwards. Look inwards. That's the second thing. So if you look back, then you start looking inwards. And what are you looking for on the inside of yourself? You want to look inwards to check what are the things that are on the inside of you. What are the experiences that I have? Potentials. What are the wise counsels? What are the mentorship? What are the gifts? What are all these things you are looking at it. So you want to check your gifts. You want to check your talents. You want to check the potential that you have. You want to check all the assets that are in your life. You want to check all the leverages that you can take advantage of. What training or knowledge have you acquired that you can use to get wealth? Why? Because your gold is tied to your gift, your treasure is tied to your talents, your profit is tied to your potential. So you need to note all these things. It's very, very important, extremely important. So you need to look inwards. Many of you are sitting down here right now. Everything you need to be all that you are meant to be is already on the inside of you, waiting for discovery. Everything that the spider needs to spin a web is inside the spider. So all you need to do is discover what you have, begin to take time to develop it, and then you begin to deploy it. Number 3, look around. Look around you. If you want to look well financially, look around. Look all around you. Look all around you. An accurate assessment of your environment will reveal that there are countless wealth creation opportunities around you. All you need is to look well. Look well. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse number 11. The race is not to the swift. Battle is not for the strong. Bread is not for the wise. Riches not for men of understanding. But time and chance happen to them all. Time and chance happen to them all. So what do we see? You need to look at what are the opportunities that are available around you. What are the opportunities? A speaker came to Capsa about 2 or 3 years ago, and he spoke about pop-off, selling pop-off at the gates. I'm not sure if somebody is still selling pop-off till now. Because I've not seen pop-off. It's possible. But is somebody selling pop-off? But I know there are people around selling bread, selling all kinds of things, leveraging. So look around you. What are the opportunities? Everybody in Nigeria is complaining about power. That is an opportunity. If there is no power, make power available. The apostle of light is there. Power. So you do inverter, you do solar, you do alternative energy, you do gas, so what are the opportunities around you? Every problem you see all around you is an opportunity calling for attention. What prospects or possibilities do you see? You are just seeing problem. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise. Crisis creates opportunity. So every time you look around you, you will realize that there are opportunities around you that can change your life. There are opportunities around you that can change your life. A lot of people today have leveraged on the opportunities that they have seen around them, and they have created amazing wealth. What is the trend? What is trending now? What are the waves? Why? Because many times you want to create a wave. You can't create a wave. You ride the wave. Instead of you doing something and asking God to come and bless what you are doing, look at what God is blessing and join the queue. Do what God is already blessing and leverage on the move of God. Look around you. Look around you. So many times we are looking for what is not lost. Just look around. If you can just look around, you'll be amazed that there are opportunities everywhere. What problems or needs are around you that needs to be solved? What are the problems or needs that are around you that needs to be solved? What are the problems around you? What are the needs around you that needs to be solved? Identify them. Don't complain about problem. Don't discuss problem. Too much analysis leads to paralysis. Find out what the problems are. Become a problem solver. Find out what the questions are. Become an answer. Find out what the situation is and become the one that turns things around. That's the way it works. So you want to become rich and wealthy, you need to look well. How do you look well? Look behind you. Look within you. Look around you. And finally, how do you look well? Look up. Look up, look up, look up, look up. Good idea is not always good idea. A clear understanding of the anatomy of money will reveal the fact that money is tripartite. Money is a spirit. Money has a soul. Money lives in a body. Repeat after me. Money is a spirit. Money has a soul. Money lives in a body. Say it again. Money is a spirit. Money has a soul. Money lives in a body. So the spirit of money is mammon. The soul of money is the value of the currency in the marketplace. The body of money is that currency itself. So if you want to become rich and wealthy, you must know how to handle the trinity of money so that you can deal with the spirit of mammon. And that's why we are telling you to sow. Giving proves to God that you love him. And it proves to the devil that you have overcome the spirit of greed. Whatever you cannot give is in charge of your life. Whatever you cannot sacrifice is an idol in your life. And that is why when you are still struggling to give 1 million, struggling to give 2 million, your journey is still very far. You are far in carnality, far in the flesh. Why? Because what you can walk away from is a proof of what you have conquered. So you look up. Look up to God. What are you looking up to God for? Number one, what is the Lord saying? Because if you say you want to become rich and you are pursuing what God has not asked you to pursue, you will go on a journey like Jonah. What is the Lord saying? Lord, what are you saying? Number two, where is the Lord leading? You want to know where God is leading you to. God, are you leading me this way or leading me that way? Do you know how many people have relocated that are suffering now? How many people have left Nigeria that shame cannot even allow them to come back because they have sold everything before they left? So, what is the Lord saying? Where is the Lord leading? Number three, what are the graces that I need to connect to? You need to look up to God and God say, join yourself to that chariot. Join yourself to that chariot. Join yourself to that chariot. And then you just become a company of priests, a company of prophets, a company of the rich. You have heard it said over and over again, if you move with 5 poor people, you will be the 6th poor person. If you move with 5 rich people, you will be the 6th rich person. Listen to me, who you follow determines what follows you. Who you follow determines what follows you. So you have to look up to God for God to help you to connect to the right kind of grace. Next, what obligations do I need to live by? What are the covenant obligations that I need to live by? You lift up your voice to God. Lord, what obligation? And God begin to tell you, first fruits, tithe, honor your parents, honor your prophet, do this, sacrifice, welfare. God begins to tell you the covenant obligations that you need to align with. If you don't look up, you won't hear it. And then, what is my divine strategy? What is my divine strategy? You need to look up to God. Listen to me. Listen. If it is about ministry, there are many things that I will not do. I don't need a PhD to be a pastor. I don't need master's degree to be a pastor. Hello? Without the education, by the grace of God, I have more intelligence and more wisdom by grace and mercy than many people that went to school. But when God began to lift me up, and God began to tell me that I'm sending you to the nations, I'm sending you to the marketplace, you are an apostle in the marketplace, I realized that God, how do I penetrate? And God began to tell me, you need to do this, you need to do that. When I went for the MBA, it was not because I needed the certificate. God told me, go and do masters. When I went to Harvard, it was not because I needed anything in Harvard. God said, go there. I paid, the money I paid, hey, it's a whole household. But guess what? God said, go there. When I went for PhD, God said, do that. It was divine. And guess what? I was doing those things. God was preparing me for something in the future. And now I am in a part of that future, and I'm looking back and say, thank God I did that in 2010. Thank God I did that in 2009. Thank God I did that in 2012. Imagine that it's now I want to go and be doing a master's or do Harvard. I want to be doing PhD now. Who get that time? But God prepared me. He gave me a divine strategy. He said, do this so that this and this will happen. So you need to look up to God and let God give you guidance and give you direction. So you want to become rich and wealthy? That's another way to do it. Look back. Look inside. Look around. And look up. And that is why if you are looking up to a man, instead of looking up to God, you will end up in shame. The Bible says, woe is he that looks up to man. Woe is he that puts his trust in the arm of flesh. The arm of flesh will always fail you. Whitney Houston was one of the greatest vocalists the greatest voices, the greatest music artists that God has ever sent to our planet. But somewhere along the line, even though she started in church, she started with God, somewhere along the line, there was a destiny diversion. She became a drug addict. She became someone that was bound by the spirit of alcohol, the spirit of drug, and the spirit of the world. But nobody knew that she was getting close to the end of her life. After many years in limbo and without any voice coming from her, she lifted up her voice again and she began to sing from the place of her pain. I look to you, I look to you. When all my strength is gone, in you I hear a song. I look to you. And she began to cry out from the depth of her spirit. Once again, her voice reverberated around the world. And people had the sound of cry from the daughter of Zion on the inside. And the world heard her voice again. And she was called out of this part of eternity into the other part of eternity. Look up to God. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you have gone through. But like the songwriter said, wipe your tears. Weeping may endure for a night. Joy is going to come in the morning. You don't have to cry no more. Hold on, change is here. He's going to do what he says. Lift your hands and give him praise. Oh, hey, Besina. Chukunoso. Why? You may be sitting down here today and you are asking yourself, I've looked back, my grandfather is poor, my mother is poor, everybody in my family is poor. When will my story change? Why not begin by just looking up? Looking up to God, looking up to Jesus, the author and the finisher of your faith. For he that watches over Israel, neither sleeps nor slumber. Why not look up to him and let him come and help you and let him come and equip you?